So last time on Unsealed, we opened up a copy of Ace Combat 4 Shattered Skies from the year 2001 for the PS2. This is a fantastic continuation of a series that got its start on the original PlayStation way back in 1995 with Air Combat, which was basically a conversion of the coin-operated Ace Combat from arcades. It was followed up by the excellent 1997 release of Ace Combat 2, which we talked about last time. It was not only one of the better games for the PS2, but also wound up being the basis for a remake when it came to the 3DS and Ace Combat Assault Horizon. So Ace Combat 2, one of my favorite games for the system. That was followed up by Ace Combat 3 Electrosphere, which looks fantastic, had some questionable localization, however, seemed to be missing something in translation. Still a great looking game, but not quite to the level of quality that Ace Combat 2 was up to, and honestly, I would rank it below Air Combat. But then when this came out, it rewrote the book. I mean, this game jumped from 30 frames per second visuals to 60 frames per second. Much more detail, many more planes, more radio chatter, more music, more varied music. This game had it all, and I was blown away by it. So naturally, when Ace Combat 5 was announced, it was a game that I knew that I had to have. What I didn't know, or what I didn't wind up getting, was some places who were offering pre-orders for Ace Combat 5 got a special bonus. I didn't know about this until I happened upon it on eBay, and I knew that it was something that I wanted to get. And this is a little bonus that we're going to open up here on Unsealed. This is Ace Combat 5, The Unsung War Behind the Combat. This is a DVD giveaway that came out just before the game came out. So you'd be able to check out parts of the game before the game was released. Now, when this came out in 2004, the internet was definitely a thing. You could surf around, you could get pictures, you could get some video, although not everywhere had high-speed internet. It was starting to become more and more of a thing, but video communication, streaming video was still early on in its lifespan, and not everyone had it. So to have a DVD like this so you could check out some stuff from the game was a really neat bonus, or at least so I thought. Here's a look at the back of the box. Again, sorry about the glare from my laptop here. Own the Skies, it says, prepare for takeoff in the upcoming 5th installment of the landmark Ace Combat series, featuring over 50 real-world aircraft, more than 30 missions, an epic storyline, multiple modes, and the all-new Wingman Command, where you can issue orders and coordinate attacks as you and your elite squadron attempt to pull two superpowers back from the brink of war. So this has screenshots, trailers, and audio, the making of a cinematic, so they actually walk you through some of the cinema screens, and also exclusive original artwork. So this is a really cool DVD, and I have it. It is still sealed. Unfortunately, there's no security label on the top. We're going to go ahead. We're going to open this now. I'm going to try and keep this so you guys can see it. Going to try and do this so it doesn't take too long, because we still have the main attraction coming. I really need to come up with a better way to do this in the future so it doesn't take forever. There we go. So we're opening this up. There we go. All right. So this is now open. We're going to go ahead and take a look at what's inside. I want to open it up first, make sure it doesn't come out. This is kind of cool. It's not, there's nothing really extra on the inside, but you can see the label, which is pretty much the same as the front. Game footage based on a product that has not yet been rated. So this is still early on, definitely a pre-order bonus in every sense of the word. I have not seen what's on here. I'm looking forward to checking it out when I get a little bit more free time. But this was a really cool bonus, and it was nice to find on eBay. So let's get to the main attraction. Let's talk about Ace Combat 5, because this is a game that a lot of people consider to be one of the best in the series. For myself, it's a game that, while I like it a lot, it looks great, it sounds great, it seems to fall just a little bit, at least in my opinion, a little bit behind Ace Combat 4. Now, it is important because it sets the stage for the next game in the series, which we'll get to next time. But nonetheless, I mean, it's not a bad game. We're not talking about a huge step back in terms of something like Ace Combat 3 and its questionable localization. It's still a fantastic game for what it is. So here it is in all of its glory and all of its black label glory. This is Ace Combat 5, The Unsung War. When your life can be taken in a split second, your commands must be taken even faster. Own the Skies in the 5th installment of the landmark Ace Combat series. Gee, that sounds familiar. The year is 2010. Wow, that was 8 years ago. A surprise air attack has put Sand Island base on red alert. Now you and the elite pilots under your command have been called up to pull 2 opposing superpowers back from the brink of war. This is the back of the case. Sorry about the glare. But that's what the back of the case looks like. Awesome artwork. I love these pictures of planes here. I can't fly worth a darn because I'm blind as a bat, but this is still really, really cool to look at. One of the other thing that stands out to me about this game is you may or may not have heard of a group called Puddle of Mud. They were not really a new metal group, but a harder rock group from the mid-2000s. And they actually managed to get a song in here, Blurry, which is kind of like a ballady, kind of slowy kind of thing. But that is here in the game. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and get this open so we can talk about it a little bit more. And this shouldn't be too difficult to get open, I don't think. You can hear it kind of crackling. All right, maybe we'll be... There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and open this. And yes, there is the wrapping. And this does have the security label at the top, Ace Combat 5. We're going to go ahead and get that removed. And what do I mean by not as good? It's really subjective. I mean, objectively, the game probably is a little bit better. Graphically, it probably looks a little bit better. There are more planes in the game. There are more missions to take on. There are more branching paths. I think the voice work might be a little bit better. But for me, I don't know. It doesn't have the same effect. Maybe because it doesn't have the same pull or the same effect with me because it's not the jump like 4 was from 3. This feels more like an incremental jump rather than a massive one. Let's go ahead and open this, and I'm going to just turn the disc around so you can see the inside. There we go. So there is the disc there and the manual here. We're going to go ahead and take the manual out just as we did with Ace Combat 4. And this is another, actually, this is a color manual, believe it or not. There's not a lot of color in it, but at least the screens are in color. There is a campaign mode, which is my favorite part of these games. There's also an arcade mode that harkens back to Ace Combat 4. As a matter of fact, you get to assume the role of Mobius 1 once again, which I thought was pretty neat. You have to shoot down a certain number of planes within the allotted time. You get more time depending on which planes you shoot down, so there's definitely a bit of tension there to be able to shoot down the right planes and use your time effectively. Meanwhile, some tunes from Ace Combat 4 reemerge in this arcade mode as well. So that's pretty neat. But definitely the campaign mode is the big deal. That's what you're going to want to play. It's a pretty good story. And again, it sets the stage for the next game in this series, which we'll be going over in the next episode, which I'm really excited about. So we opened up Ace Combat 4 last time. We opened up Ace Combat 5, The Unsung War this time, which means there's just one left for the PS2, and we will get to that one next time. This one that I'm going to be opening next time is my favorite game in this series, and there are some questions. Some people think I'm kind of crazy when I consider this to be my favorite game because it's more of a side story than its own original game, but I'll talk about that more when we reconvene on the next episode of Unsealed. So until then, thanks for watching, everybody. As always, feel free to leave comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've played any of these combat games. I'd love to hear about your adventures and what you think of these games. Do you like them as much as I do? I'd love to hear from you to find out. Until the next time, though, I am done. See you soon. Bye.